Hello people, I hope you're all well. Thanks for watching the video. In this one, I am going to basically show you why feminism is destroying women, and this, in my opinion, is a video showing women who have had the feminist mindset, not a feminine. I hope you know the difference between feminine, which is a natural woman, friendly, kind, peaceful, loyal, loving, and self-respecting. But feminists and feminism is the opposite. It's like the anti-woman. It's literally like a devil's Bible or a devil's ideology to guide women away from traditions and their true self. So what we are seeing is misguided, brainwashed, deluded. The bottom line is deluded and delusional women who have been told, this is the way to be a feminist, compete with men, go and work, hate men, sell your body, use men are trash, screw men, whatever. All the opposite of actually respecting men. The bottom line is feminism is taking away the respect of a man, and the appreciation is hating him. That is what it is. So if a woman goes through her life with this kind of ideology and mindset, this is how you end up.
I'm single, I'm 35, and quite honestly, I'm lonely.
I'm just so lonely.
I'm so overweighting. Like, when is it gonna be my turn?
I feel like I'm back in that hopeless pit where I'm just like, when's it gonna be my turn? Why is it taking so long?
Why is it so hard to find a guy?
Never having been picked, never having been wanted, never having been desired, as you go through all of these years. 27 years for me, 27 years.
Everyone talks about the male loneliness epidemic, but no one seems to be talking about how lonely women are.
I literally cannot express in words how badly I want a relationship.
I'm 37. I'll be 38 this year. I don't have any kids. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't talk to anybody. So I'm always alone.
I genuinely question if there is real love.
Septum piercing. Red flag. And listen, people, do you think that this happened 50 years ago? Women sitting crying, I can't find a man. No. Because women were in a traditional frame, a traditional society where things worked. Not perfectly, but compared to this, things used to work before I'm not saying feminism is the destruction of everything and feminism is to blame for everything that's wrong in the world. No. What I'm saying is, I feel like it is the biggest majority holder or the biggest majority of the problem in traditional relationships, and why we're seeing this, why we're seeing dating messed up, loads of young men can't find women or even sleep with women, loads of women are chasing the same guys because of social media and the need for more and more, and look, this is a result of modern times and feminism. This did not happen 50 years ago or 40 years ago, or even 30 maybe. It's a new age thing where feminism is rife and social media is rife and women are unleashed off out of their frame, and this is the result: complete chaos, destruction of traditional families and life.
Left, like, especially in our generation.
It sucks being 32 and single and seeing all your friends get engaged and not even being close to that.
I've been stood up, ghosted, lied to, all in a matter of 3 months.
I hate this shit. Like, what do y'all want me to say? Like, I be in the bed crying every night.
I'm crying because I'm just reflecting on the fact that literally every person in my life has used me and then just throws me out like a piece of trash.
And I'm so tired. Like, I don't want to try anymore.
She doesn't want to try anymore. Has the dating market really gotten this bad, where women are actively looking for men and still can't find any?
Where are all the single straight men?
Where are the women pushing 30? Where do we find good men at?
Where are all the single guys that are respectful and educated and want to take care of a woman?
Where are the men our age hiding?
What does it take to find a good guy? Like, I don't understand why it's so...
What does it take? No, the real question is, what does it take to find a feminine, traditional woman who doesn't throw her box around, you know, act like, you know, she's a porn star half the time, taking half-naked pictures, going on girls' trips, sleeping around, all the chaos and insanity, and then they turn around and say, where are all the good men? They're all fake, filled with fillers, fake this, fake that, feminist mindset, hate men, men are trash, but where are all the good men? I don't think that's the problem. This is what it comes down to. Women cannot self-reflect. They just want to, you know, it's either men are wrong and they're right, that's it. There's no other alternative to these women. It's like it's all the men's fault. You hear one of them are saying, maybe it's me. It's always the blaming the men. It's like, I just don't get how you can be so stupid and deluded. It's like an epidemic of retardation in every nation.
So hard in your 40s to just find a good person.
I'm starting to wonder where they are. Like, where?
Drop a comment and let these women know where the good men are, because apparently they can't find any. And if you've watched the previous videos on this channel, you already know how picky women can be when it comes to...
Yep, and the issue is, a lot of these women, their actual pool of men in their mind and to them is literally only 10 or 20% of the whole collective of men. So the other 90 to 80% of men don't even exist to them. They're probably getting really nice guys messaging them and being nice and kind and loving and traditional. That makes the modern woman vomit. The modern woman wants the bad guy, the one that's cold, he's not nice, he's not available, he's hot and cold, giving them the emotional roller coaster that they're looking for, the thrills and the spills. And that leads them to where? What are you going to get out of a guy that does that in the long term? Okay, it might be a thrill and get you high and excited or whatever it is in the short term, but long term, why are women ignoring 80 to 90% of men who can't even get a woman and would probably treat them like a queen? But 9 times out of 10, you treat a woman like a queen and she just throws it in your face and monkey branches and hypergamy is off the chain. So it's like, there are good men, they're just invisible to these women, literally invisible. They're not even a thought to these women. The only men these women think about are the men that they're really attracted to and they think have got a lot of money. So that's why they're saying, like, where are all the good men? You know, it's insane.
When it comes to dating, everything has to be damn near perfect.
There was one guy that I dated who was so nice, so cute, took me on the best date, so fun. Like, we had fun. Every single day we had fun. But I did not feel emotionally connected.
It's not that I haven't been on dates or it's not that I haven't had boyfriends before, but it's more so that I just haven't been wowed.
He could be a good guy, but that doesn't mean that he is good enough for you. That doesn't mean that he is right for you, and you should not have to compromise on your standards or your non-negotiables because he's a good guy.
I am looking for a specific relationship. A specific relationship, how I want it to be. And I am okay with being single if that means I will never get it in my lifetime.
And it wasn't even that I wasn't attracted to him, because he was an attractive guy, but there was just something lacking, and I was able to recognize it quickly.
Do you notice the trend? I can tell you the problem is women, first, I don't know if you can go back in time, but specifically in this modern time, the nicer a man is to a woman, the more it seems to put her off. And the more a guy's hot and cold and doesn't show too much interest in her and leaves her guessing, that's what she's looking for. You know, and she's got to be attracted to him. But even if she's attracted to a man who is nice to her, it'll put her off. It's like modern women don't like nice men. That's what I view. And I think you'll know yourself if you're listening to this, that's a trend that we can all kind of see. Women do not like nice men. They say they want that, but primarily, I think that the problem is women are too much in their primal brain right now. So it's like they're in an instinct of looking for the most ruthless, strong man who doesn't need them and, you know, is manly and can just do what he wants. That's what women are attracted to. They're not attracted to a guy who's going to be nice, respectful, open doors for them, send them good morning, babe messages, and, you know, do everything for them. Because when a man does that to a woman, for some reason, it builds some kind of resentment and it makes them just feel like disgusted because you're being too nice, and it puts them off you. It's insane. And this is what I'm saying. Women are the most strange creatures because they don't even know what they want. So, like, it's how is the average man meant to know how to keep them happy? You know?
This is exactly why so many men have tapped out of dating. The kind, consistent, and emotionally available men women say they want are often ignored. Why? Because they live normal, everyday lives that don't create drama, but women see that as boring.
In general, good men are steady and consistent and predictable. It's why, as women, we think you're boring.
I'm just gonna say the quiet part out loud. Most men are mind-numbingly boring.
He's so nice, and he's the guy that I should want. But it's like, I need a little bit of like a, you're going to send me to the psych ward.
When you get treated good, it's kind of like boring, and don't hate me, but I do love toxic, and I don't mean like super bad, but I like some spice in my life.
Because I feel like if a guy is nice, that means he gets no girls, and that's like a turn off.
There's a lot of women that I see with their husbands, it's like you're gonna spend the rest of your life pretending that that is not the most boring man on earth.
See, this is the trap a lot of men fall into, thinking they have to be emotional and toxic just to keep a woman's interest, but don't fall for it. Like I said, it's a trap.
The reason that they have these up and down emotions is they want to see two things. Number one, if you care about them, and number two, how steady and stable are you?
Again, it's just another difference between us, not good or bad or right or wrong, just another difference between us as men and women. As women in general, we like chaos and drama.
I just want to say, I'm sure his name's Gonzalo Lira. I could be butchering that, but the guy that was just in the video, he died, and I watched quite a few of his videos back in the day. I wasn't like watching him for a long time, but I definitely seen his videos, and he died in strange circumstances. But yeah, back to the video.
And disruption of routine.
Normal. Normal is boring. Normal, safe, stable, secure. It's boring.
And Rip, I can't forget his name, Kevin Samuels, I could be wrong. But anyway, this is what I've said to you. People are awakening. Men are aware of this. You know, that if you're too nice, you know, we do pick things up on the internet as well, and we do understand things. You know, it's men are aware that women do not like you to be too nice. So this is the problem where women are not getting approached, in my opinion, because men are becoming aware that women are not attracted to a man when they're too nice, so they won't approach and try and be nice. And then also there's the other factor that if the woman's not attracted to you, she'll brand you a creep and create all kinds of situations that could, you know, it's like a all round, the juice is not worth the squeeze for most men when they understand this. And that is why women are not getting the attention they used to get, etc., etc. And, you know, that's why women are attracted to chaos, and that's why a lot of them are filled with trauma. Because they literally crave drama to be happy or content in the moment, but long term it does them damage. It's to me it's crazy, you know, but it's how they're wired. They're emotional beings. They do not like a steady emotion. It's like there needs to be some reaction for them to feel alive. So steady good men just don't do that. It's just not, it doesn't bring any drama or excitement to them. It's the men who are hot and cold and, you know, have got a fast-paced life, or, you know, it's Yeah, this is why a lot of men come unstuck, because they think, oh, if I'm nice to her, that's all we need. But sadly, like I said, in modern women, it seems to be the nicer you are to them, the more it puts them off you, or puts you off, or whatever. They just don't go for it. It's like, nope, you're too nice. That's crazy, right? But that's the reality.
And they need crazy.
Are you a rock solid kind of guy? Or are you going to be like all over the place, yo-yoing with her? And see, women don't want a guy who's an emotional yo-yo. I mean, it's all good and fine for them to be emotional yo-yos and up and down and all over the place. Yeah, fine. But a woman hates that in a man. And the problem is that in the West, in Europe and the Americas and Australia and New Zealand, we've been socialized into believing that we have to cater to a woman's emotions. This is a colossal mistake.
That's a huge mistake. This is what.
Yep, so that is the trap that most men do fall into, because when a man cares about a woman, his instinct is to protect her and be empathetic. And realistically, when a man cares and loves a woman, the more nice he is to you, that's him showing that he cares for you and he wants you to feel good. So that's his natural instinct, to be really nice to you. So that is, a lot of women, do they realise that that is what love is? When a man is being really nice to you consistently, that he loves you and likes you and adores you. But women don't like it. It's, so that's when men are like, well, why should I care? Why should I be nice, overly nice to a woman? Why should I approach women? Why should I put effort into women? When you look at the modern women, it's crazy.
Why it's so important to focus on building your life so you have options. The same women who ignore good men now are often the ones complaining later when those men are no longer available or when they go for younger women.
Men my age, they don't want this.
The only kind of men that date and marry women that are substantially younger than them are insecure men.
I mean,
absolute nonsense. They're men who do not want chaos in their life. They're not insecure. These women that say men are insecure are women who do not see that they're the problem. Why would a man choose a 45, 50-year-old woman if he's built himself up, he's successful, he's got money, or even just a steady lifestyle and he can look after himself and live a good life? Why is he going to choose an old, bitter 45, 40-year-old woman who hates men and has got a lot of life trauma and baggage, mental illness more than likely? Most women are pretty crazy, let's be real. So do you want to choose that, or a younger woman who has not got all that baggage? It's pretty much, realistically, men are logical and they can say, right, logically I'm probably more likely to have a better life, more peaceful, compliant, happy life with a younger woman than an old, bitter, traumatized, man-hating, crazy lady. I mean, and plus younger women are more attractive. It is what it is, We all know that everybody's got a prime, and generally women's prime is between 18, early 20s till maybe, depending on how they're living, but I would definitely say a woman's prime in their looks is between 20 and 30. You could argue that the more end is between 18 and 23 to 24 maybe, but let's just average it and say between 20 and 30. So that is what men are most attracted to. So think of the pool of women that's consistently available that's between 20 and 30. Why would we choose this or the previous woman? It makes no logical sense to a man.
shit, they're teachable. They're fresh. They're pure. They're naive. They'll listen to us. And here I come with my 44 years of experience and lessons and, my self-worth.
I am 44, and these two men were 40 and 42. And they're the two men that are on my roster that I'm actually interested in, sexually attracted to, interested in intellectually, have great chemistry with, great conversations with. and they both friend zoned me because they think they might want kids someday.
They don't want a partner.
That's another thing, you know. Men think that a lot of men want kids, so why, what are they going to date? You know, they know if they date a younger woman, they can have kids anytime. It's just, you know, it's logical. You have to understand men think logically and they weigh things up, you know.
If they wanted a partner, they would seek someone who was closer in their age. They would seek out a peer.
So this is what I'm dealing with men who are my age, out in the dating pool, sniffing around 40-somethings, but might want kids someday. I can't with this nonsense. It's biology. Did we stop teaching that in schools?
Look, I'm not sure, but I think wanting kids someday is a valid reason for not wanting to date a woman in her 40s. When women are younger, they often look for a man with resources because of the life he can provide. So no one should have a problem with older men dating younger women. And yet, despite all of this, women have been asking the same question for decades. Where are all the good men? Even radio shows back in the early 2000s were filled with that same discussion, and the conversation still hasn't changed.
All these women have complained, where are all the good men? You know where all the good men are? You said no to them. You said no to the nice guy who wanted to take you to the prom. You said no to the guy who asked you to marry him because...
See, the nicer you are to a woman, there is no real balance with women. If you're too nice, it puts them off. If you're hot and you're cold and you treat them mean to keep them keen, they'll be right into you. But there's no balance with women. You have to... This is the thing that I've figured with women. There is no level emotion with them. There is no content. You know, there's nothing about them that can just be balanced. It's very hard to find a balanced woman. You're too nice, it puts them off. You're mean, they're attracted. That's pretty much how it is. Not mean, but you know, like, basically the opposite of being nice. A guy that doesn't care, jack the lad, sleeps around, you know, lies to her, cheats on her. That's what a lot of women go for. Absolutely, a lot of women go for the worst guys. Because they're attracted to that chaos and that I guess a lot of women see that as masculinity, because if a man's being too nice, that's not masculine in their mind, I'm guessing, right? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. How can you win with that? How can you win with that kind of programming in the species you're attracted to? How?
You thought you could do better? You said no to the guy who, you know, wanted you to move in with him or... wanted you to fall in love with him. You said no. You made fun of the guy, right, who sent you all those Valentine's Day cards and the balloons and the little teddy bears and everything. You just said no, 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 no. Then one day you suddenly turn around and guys aren't paying attention to you anymore.
Now, if you want to see the struggles in dating for women who fell for the independent woman and the I don't need no man trap, click this video on your screen.
I might cover that video at some point. That looks quite interesting. But look, people, ladies, gentlemen, the men know what I'm talking about, and the ladies need to listen. You need to learn. You need to self-reflect. You need to say, is what I am bringing to the dating market a great package? Am I a good human being? You have to start looking at yourself. Because until you do that and understand what men want and know what you want, don't just be going and, you know, using men, chasing all the, you know, like using the good guys for whatever you need them for, but realistically sleeping with the guys that treat you like crap. That's how it usually ends up. And that's the sad thing. Women need to address this, or we're going to see so many single women just getting used and abused. Men will happily look, you know, sleep with you, but they'll not keep you. Like, you have to understand that. So you need to change it to where men want to sleep with you and keep you. It's not that hard. It's like, just be a good person. Like, is that hard to ask? Like, just be a good person, you know? And I think that's, a lot of women are sort of missing that because they don't self-reflect. It's like they can live in emotions and just keep, I don't know, like, I really don't understand how women work, but I get, obviously it's emotional. So it's like, I think that it seems to be like the ultimate emotion, the ultimate kryptonite in emotion world for women is self-reflection and accountability. Because if every woman, it seems, Matt, the pattern that I've noticed with women is it's like their kryptonite. Accountability is women's kryptonite. It's like the final boss of emotions that they just do not want to approach. And until they can approach that, we're just going to see this whole situation getting worse, and it affects men as well. So that's my opinion. And if you agree, great. You don't, great. But that's my opinion, and I hope you can get something from it. And if you've got any comments, let me know. Always open to different opinions. I'm not somebody that sits and says, I am right, what I say is right. This is what I think. This is my opinion. And I'm not saying that I know everything and I'm the master of all knowledge. No. But I've got life experience, and I'm not a naive young guy who just gets horny and wants to chase any hole that I can put it in. I'm a man who's got experience, lived, and I can see things a lot clearer, and I've got a lot more information in my brain to be able to understand the situation and see it for what it is. And obviously I can't, women will be, oh, men are this, men are that. Well, that's cool, but what I've just sat and showed you is your biggest problem is that you're chasing emotions, you're chasing the thrills, you're chasing the excitement, you're thinking about yourself, but while taking no accountability and no self-reflection. So you're making a lot of bad decisions continually, and you're taking no accountability and changing nothing, just blaming everybody else. Blame men. Just blame men. Blame everything else. It's never the woman, is it? Yep, so until the next time, peace.